Hi, everybody out in YouTube land and all over the world tuning in for some true crime chat. I'm happy to be with you today, and I'm just going to leave it at today because if I say morning, afternoon, or evening, it's going to be off for a lot of you, so we'll keep it to today. We're going to start with part 2 of our Chris Watts interview. We left off the last time when a Special Agent Coder was asking about Shanann's Facebook page, and he was trying to find out any friends that might be responsible for the disappearance of Shanann and the girls, even though Chris was who he suspected, but he's playing Chris's game at this point. We're going to continue. We're going to go through that interview, and we're going to see some things in there where, you know, you'll be scratching your head a little bit and seeing just how crazy it is that this guy just, you know, he's messed so many things up, and I know that we're all wishing that he just messed everything up totally and those 4 beautiful souls would be alive today, but he just is a mess from beginning to end. And I don't believe that he could have done any of this without help. Now, whether it's an accomplice there, whether it's an accomplice that helped him, you know, annihilate his family, or it's someone that helped in the background planning or pressuring, putting ideas in his head, you can hear by the words he speaks. This is not something he did alone. Not at all. Not at all. There's no way, okay? Because he's not even capable of... It's scary. Yeah, it's absolutely scary. I don't even have words, but it's scary. So anyway, those are my thoughts, and I'm entitled to my thoughts, and I don't think he could have ever done this alone. He's had to have help in more ways than one, as far as I'm concerned. So let's take a look at the second half of his interview, and this is before the polygraph, okay? It's before his confession. It's before he meets in there with his father, okay? And it's before he picks up Ronnie at the airport. Now, looking at his mistress, a lot of you are wondering, you know, why haven't people been questioned in connection with her, like that gym guy and like that friend she said that she spent time with, who she hosted for a little bit of time that weekend or the weekend before. I have to go back and look what it is. And other friends that she had, the ones that she's calling, the one that she's telling to erase all the Facebook, you know, photos and posts about. So you might be wondering about that. We're all wondering about that. I mean, come on. We don't understand any of that. Now, we may just not be privy to what is going on. So, yeah, let's hope it's that. And why was this mistress Googling Ronnie Watts? Why? And why was she Googling Chris's address? Again, this is very puzzling to me. She Googled Chris's address. Why? Was she showing it to someone? Was someone going to get into the house to clean something up the next day? Why was she Googling that address? Was she trying to get a Google? You know, street view of it, a map shot, an aerial view? Was she trying to send it out to someone to show them where the streets are and where they could park and where they could go in unnoticed? Was she trying to draw a little map with an aerial shot and showing them the way they needed to come in so they wouldn't be seen by the cameras when they go to clean up the crime scene? Or plant... Who knows what the plan was? Maybe they had some elaborate plan where somebody was going to come in there and then make it look like, you know, they were gone, that she disappeared with someone. Who knows? Their plan got foiled. That plan got foiled. But why is she searching? She knew where he lived. There was no reason she had to go search on that address. Why? Sounds like she was sharing that view of the house with someone. Were they, who knows if they didn't even have any insurance fraud thing in mind. Maybe they were going to have someone burn the house down and get the insurance. I don't know. Why would she be doing that? My mind's going in like 20,000 directions. But let's get on to this interrogation. I think after this interrogation, I'm going to look at some other interviews and also the stuff with the school going on. And there's just so much and so many layers. This is like the biggest onion you've ever had. I mean, you keep peeling back layers and there's more and there's more and there's more. And it just keeps coming. It just keeps coming at you. But yeah, I was really interested in what the heck she's Googling that address for. All right, so let me get going with this with you guys. So, where we left off, Special Agent Coder was asking what she did on Facebook. Is that how she promoted her business? And he said, okay, Chris says she's a promoter. And Coder says, sales? Chris says, yes. Okay, and he says it's Lavelle. I think I've heard of Thrive. It's just like you sell personally to people you know? Okay, so she doesn't have like a storefront or anything like that that she works out of? And Chris says, no, not at all. Her business is cloud-based. Okay, home-based. Yeah, Chris says. Coder says she can work from home. She can work, it lets her work from anywhere, Chris says. And so where would there be a list of contacts at Thrive so we can start talking to people? So he said, okay, so Chris says, oh, we've already gave them all to them. Like everybody that she contacts through Thrive, they have them in the police have them? Yeah. In the phone? Mm-hmm. Through what? An app? No. Just like all the people that she contacts throughout the day. Okay. Like from Addie and Sam and they're all in there. Addie and Sam, who are they? And Maloney, one of her leaders back east. So Coder says, okay, and then Chris says, Sam Paisley is another leader back, and Coder says, someone supporting her sales? And Chris says, yeah. What about people who, because she's in sales, what about customers she tries to reach out to because she doesn't even know them? How does she do that? And Chris says, through Messenger. And Coder says, you messenger strangers? And Chris says, she either is Facebook, page, because it's public. Okay, so she has friends on Facebook? Yeah. And might someone think that they want Thrive, they can reach her? Mm-hmm. How else does she do it? It's mainly just through Facebook. Through Facebook, huh? Yeah. Like she has, and she might go on Instagram. Every once in a while, she'll like sync them both. So that, okay, it goes to both. But Facebook and what was it? Instagram? Yeah. And what's her Instagram name? And Chris says, I have no clue. Coder says, you have no idea? No. Right. It might just be Shanann Thrives. Like Shanann with an underscore Thrives. Okay. So you don't do Thrive. I do, but she kind of runs it. Okay. Do you do it separately from her then? It's a different team, but okay. I'm under her. Okay. Like, it's like she signed me up under her. Okay. So whatever I do helps her. Right. Okay. What else are we thinking of? So let's continue with I'm going to go to a friend's house. Then what happens? Oh, well, that's when I go downstairs and I make my protein shake, I get my lunch, everything ready. Right, because you're not going back to bed at this point. No. Okay. Because I got to go to work now. And that's somewhere near 5 o'clock? 5:15. Okay. And then that's when I go out, I do my truck, I load everything in it, and 5:30, I'm okay. Or about what the neighbors thinks is about 5:26, I'm gone. Okay. And she's still in the house then? Yeah. Are you sure? Yeah. Because I mean, she never came back downstairs. And explain your house to me. Do you leave through the downstairs? I leave, yeah, go downstairs and you leave through the garage? So then this conversation happened upstairs? Yes. In the master bedroom? Yes. Okay, and you're sure that she didn't come down? Well, like once I was in the garage, I was in the garage. I didn't see anything after that. Did you see her car in there? Yes. Okay, and you left and her car was in there? Yes. So it's clear that she was in there. I'm just trying to determine, I need the time she disappeared, and then, so from 5:30, then what? Well, that's when I went to work. Okay, all right. And then 7:40 is the next time I texted her. And why did you text her then? Oh, I was just like, I hadn't heard from her, and I was just seeing if she knew, like, where, if, or just seeing where she went. Texted Shanann, right? Yes. It's Shanann. Yeah. And asked if you could tell me where she was taking the kids. Oh, okay. So at this point, it's 2 hours later, and you're thinking, I wonder where she's going. Yeah. Okay. And that text on your phone? Okay. And is that text on your phone? And Chris says yes. Okay. Then all the way, what happened between 7:40 and noon? I was outside working. Okay, noon, it says you texted Shanann to call me, and that's going to be in your phone too. Okay, 12, 12, 10, doorbell visitor. That's when Nicole was at the door, and it pinged on my phone. Okay, what's she doing there then? Then 10 minutes later, you call Nicole to see what's going on, and she tells you that she's outside and can't get a hold of Shanann either, and that her shoes were next. Whose shoes? Shanann's shoes? Yep. They were next to the door, and her car was in the garage next to the door, inside or outside? Inside. There is like a little small rectangular window next to the door. Okay. You can see right in there. Does that mean anything to you that Shanann... Are shoes always by the door? Yeah. Okay. So when you come in the house, does she usually come in the front door? Most of the time, unless she drives in. And Coder says okay, and Chris says, and then she goes in the garage. Okay, because that was just from the previous night when she came in. Chris volunteers that her shoes are there from the previous night. Oh, okay. So then think about this for a minute. If she comes in, drives in with, what's the other car, a Lexus? Yep. And she drives in the Lexus, and she comes in. She comes in the garage door that way if she's driving in the garage, but since Nicole dropped her off the previous night, she came through the front door. Oh, someone else was driving. The Lexus was already there. And Chris says, yeah, the Lexus was already home. Okay, so then that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, so you see what we're trying to do? We're trying to be like, did she walk out on her own or was she taken, right? Yeah. Okay. So then it makes sense that her shoes are still right there. But she's obviously not wearing those shoes, okay? All right. Keep going. Looking at 12:40, a few more efforts by Nicole to reach her now. Do you know? Because that's when she was still at the front door, and I was to reach her at the front door? Yeah. Okay. 1 o'clock, and he's reading Chris's letter when he's saying he's reading that letter that I read to you in part 1, okay? So he's reading Chris's statement when he says, okay, 1 o'clock now, I'm now on my way home to check on my family. This is Coder speaking, but he's reading Chris's letter in case that's getting confusing. So he says, okay, 1 o'clock p.m., I'm now on my way home to check on my family. Is this just because you're worried based on the conversation? And Chris says, yeah. And, oh, had the police contacted you by then? No. Okay. Now Coder's reading again what Chris wrote. 2, I arrive. I'm sorry, what? But Nicole says she's probably going to call the cops. Okay, all right. Now, so it sounds like Nicole is pretty worried. More worried than you. I was. Once he couldn't get anything out of her and nothing was going on at the house, I was like, I gotta go home. But it sounds like Nicole was more worried. Yeah, because most of it, she doesn't text like me, like I understand then. Okay. Sometimes that happens. Okay. But for her not to get right back to her, okay. Direct sales group. Okay. That was very unorthodox. Okay. And you had a pretty tough morning with her. Yeah. So she's again decompressing. Yes. So as you said, so it's okay that she's not texting you maybe, but you're going to come home and check. Yeah. Just in case. But Nicole's freaking out. Is that right? Yeah. And I'm walking myself through this, so you tell me, okay? No, that's not what happened. No, I mean she for her not to get back to her friends like that, that's not normal. 'Cause she gets tons of text messages throughout the day from, okay, direct sales? All right. And if she doesn't get back to me, I just assume she's busy. Okay. I'm now on my way home to check my family. 2 p.m. I arrive home. I open the garage door. How do you open the garage door? I have my button. Okay. Is it in your truck? Yeah. Okay. And you get inside the house. Shanann, Bella, and Celeste. Who are Bella and Celeste? Those are my kids. Okay. Oh, are not in the house. Oh, okay. Shanann's wedding ring is on the nightstand. Her nightstand? Her phone on the couch. Her purse is still here. The medicine for the kids is still here. The car with the car seats is still here. There's no sign of them anywhere. Frederick police officers and detectives are asking Nicole and I questions about where she could have gone and who she could be with. How did that go? Well, no, we tried to go through from what we could gather, where she could have gone. Okay. As far as I could, what we saw in the house didn't really make sense. Okay. But that's when we were calling, started to look through the phone and just kind of called around. Once we found the phone and Nicole knew what the password was, I can see what transpired. And obviously there was 50 something text messages that had come through and that were all there. Okay, all right. Because her phone was off. Oh, Chris says because her phone was off. Okay. So what do you mean her phone was off? Chris says it was off. When you found it, it was off? Off. Was the battery dead? No. What do you make of that? I have no clue. Why it was off and why it was not with her. It's weird, right? Because if you're saying that she does a ton of texting, marketing and sales, and calling certain people back, okay, how would it turn off? You'd have to turn it off, Einstein says. Okay, because it was there. It was 50% or so, I think. Okay, and it was on the couch? What do you make of that? So, usually it's not right by her nightstand. Okay, that's usually where it always is. Nightstand in the bedroom? Yeah. Okay. Anything else about that? No. That is weird. That it was sitting on the couch cushion. Right there. Okay. So can we back up a tiny bit? You come home. No one has been in the house. No. Okay. No one could get in the house, right? Yeah. Unless you had a garage door, opener. And that's how you got in. And there's an unintelligible answer. And then Coder says, so at this point, you get there, and the police are there at this point. Yes. So you with the police and Nicole, that's it? Her son. Her son? What? Her son? What's his name? I think it's Nick. I think it's Nick. I think it's Nick. Nick. And so you and Nicole are besties, per se? You and Nicole? Oh, no, like we're friends, but yeah, my wife and her are really, really good friends. Okay. And so Nick, you don't spend much time with Nick? No. Okay. Why is Nick there? He was just with her, with his mom. Okay. Is there anything weird about Nicole and Nick? Not that I can really think of. Do you think anything about your wife not being around has anything to do with Nicole or Nick? I would hope not. I mean, like Nicole is one of her good friends. Okay. I don't think they could have done, I don't think they could have done anything, as far as, helping her get out and then being so emotional when they couldn't find her. I don't think they'd be capable of that. Okay. So then they're at home. Police officers there. Okay. Then walk me through that, okay? All right. So as they go through the house, do you immediately go through the house? I open the garage door, I just go into the house. I mean, I'm looking as I go into the garage door, I'm not looking. Is a police officer saying, "Hey, let me talk to you for a minute"? No. Okay. What's the vibe like? I go up there, I shake his hand, and I'm opening the garage door at the same time. Okay. And then I go through, and they're waiting at the front door. I go to open that up, and they come in. Okay, so they didn't go through the garage with you. Well, they went in the garage, they didn't come all the way in like I did. Okay, so then everybody goes in, okay, and then what? I run upstairs, I look in the bedrooms. Okay, and because that's where she would be? That's where I would expect. So this is a standard house, upstairs bedrooms, downstairs living area? Yeah. Okay. And there's one office downstairs. Okay. Then upstairs, and then what? I go into Bella's room, I go into Celeste's room, the playroom, the master bedroom, I'm looking everywhere. The bathroom and nothing. Okay, and then? Found the wedding ring right there on the nightstand, and then, right then? Yeah. Okay. That's weird. Coder says, that's weird. And Chris says, she only takes it off when she colors her hair. Okay. And actually, she already colored her hair a week before, so, okay. That was probably just a result of our conversation. Oh, I would think. Okay. And then Nick finds her phone on the couch. And why did he find her phone on the couch? Was he looking for it there? I don't know. He was looking for. And then Coder says clues, and Chris says, clues. And then Coder says, okay. And then Chris says, looking around. Chris says, was looking around too. And he happened to just run across it right there on the couch. And, okay, right on the cushion. So he found, it's not as though you're calling him to find it. He just found it. Yeah. Okay, then what? He goes, so that we just told the officer that we found the phone, and we turn it on. Nikki gets the passcode in, because it was a 4-digit passcode before, and now it's a 6-digit, this time, so, and that's 013119. That's the baby's birthday. Due date. Yeah. She knew her friend's passcode? Yeah, I didn't, because it used to be 2385, but when she changed it to 6. How did Nikki know? Maybe she knew it over the weekend, because I'd never seen a 6-digit passcode on her phone. Is that normal to you, that? No. Nicole might share her passcode with somebody? I wouldn't think so. Do you know her to have ever done that before? And he goes, no, because she's only told me her passcode before. Or like her phone is her lifeline, so, okay. So she's close with Nicole, she's, decently close. How long have they known each other? Oh, probably at least over a year. How'd they meet? When Shanann's mom lived here, Shanann's mom worked at, she was a hairdresser, and Nikki was like one of the managers. Oh. Nicole, sorry. Because Nikki is his side piece, so Chris just slips into Nikki. Okay. And then did she get her hair done there or something by Nikki? No. Okay. Then it was just her, Shanann's mom, and Nicole were friends, and then Shanann got Nicole into Thrive, and, oh, okay. It went from there. All right. Now we're at finding the phone, and Nicole unlocking the phone, and then what? We're waiting for the everything to load up and watching all the text messages pop up, phone calls, missed calls pop up, and then we went from there. And what were they? Oh, they were people calling and asking, like, are you okay? Where are you type things. Okay, all right. Okay, then what? The police officer, he looks at the phone. Just kind of looks at the phone, looks to see if anything looks odd. And he just looks at the text messages. And then I walk downstairs, and I'm looking around down there, seeing if, I see anything else. And I don't. Okay. Nothing out of the ordinary. Okay. And then I think this was at 3 or 4. Yeah. At 4 o'clock, that's when, because the neighbor, yeah. That was the officer. I had went over to the neighbor's house to see if he saw anything. And whose idea was that? I think it was the officer's. Okay. He just went over there, and then that's when the neighbor called him back over to show him he had some stuff from the other night. Okay. To show him like whatever he had, and that put motion on it. Okay. Who originally called the police? Nicole. Okay. And that's the time you're telling me that you're coming home and she's freaking out. She said that. She told me that she was going to call the police, but I said, okay, I'm coming home. And it's like, let me look through everything. Let's see what's going on here. And I'm on my way home. And that's when she called me and she said, the cops are here. See, Chris didn't want her to call the cops. Chris wanted to let her know that he's coming home. Let me come home and we'll see what's here. And then, we'll take it from there. And who knows what Chris would have done had the cops not been outside, and maybe he could have stalled her off. He could have grabbed those few things and just ditched them somewhere. Who knows? And then Coder says, okay, all right, okay. Frederick police officers and detectives are asking Nicole and I questions where she could have gone and where she could be. 4 o'clock p.m., police check neighbors' security footage and question them as well. Okay. Have we talked about that? Is that where we're okay? That's where we're at. Anything else about that? No, it just shows Nicole dropping her off, but not her walking up, and it shows me loading my truck up. At the time I told you I left. Okay. Officer, detective, and sergeant come by to search the house and ask some more questions. How'd that go? That just, they had me sign the paperwork to search the house, and I just waited outside and let them. Okay. Go through the house. There's a missing person warrant, I guess. True. Okay. And did they find any other clues? No. Okay. Begin calling around to anyone I know that could know something, or maybe see Shanann. Calling local hospitals and hotels as well. 7:30 p.m. Friends Nick and Amanda come by to show support. Okay, so 6 o'clock p.m. you begin calling around to anyone I know that could be or know something, or maybe have seen Shanann. What happened then? And Chris says, same thing, like everybody else I talked to. It's just that they hadn't heard from her at all, and they hadn't seen her. Nothing. Call hospitals for them. Who's helping you with these calls? It's just me. Just you? At this point, were you by yourself? I was by myself. I'm sure Nicole and other people were doing that while they were gone. Chris says, because they were gone at this point. Coder asks, where did Nicole go? And Chris says, back to her house. And Coder says, back to her house? And Chris says, she was there when they came back to search the house. Nicole was? She was parked outside. When? When is this? 5 o'clock p.m. Yeah, she was parked outside. Okay. Did she come in and help then? No. Why not? Well, 'cause they told me to wait outside. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Is there any weapons in your house? No. Okay, if we wanted to bring a lot more people with a lot more tools and tricks to your house, might we do that? It's up to you. Okay. I was going to stay at a friend's house. I was on my way over there. Okay. When I spoke to you, you were going to stay at a friend's house? I was. Okay. If we were to get into your house without you there, how would we do it? Oh, punch the passcode in the front door, 2385. Okay. That's the garage passcode? No, that's the front door. And I thought there was a latch or something preventing you from getting in. I know, but if you don't latch it, it's unlatched now? Yeah. Okay. What might you think about that? I think it's a great, Chris says, idea. Coder doesn't even get great idea. Chris is already agreeing. And then Chris says, all right, what do you think? I was just going to go to a friend's house because I couldn't stay I couldn't stay, last night I couldn't sleep there. What friend's house? Oh, Nick and Amanda. And then Coder says, oh, is that her friends or your friends? And Chris says, they're both of our friends. Okay. I run with Nick. Okay. And when you say hers, is that your wife or is that Nicole's? My wife. Your wife. Shanann's friends. Yeah. Okay. Nick and Amanda. I think they're waiting outside for me, actually. Oh, are they? Were they the ones I saw on TV? More than likely. Okay. One bald guy? Young kid with a brown ball cap? Yeah. Colorado something, maybe? Yeah, that's Nick. Okay. That was Nick. Okay, I thought Nick was, no wait, Nicole's, who's Nicole's son? Nick. Oh. There are two Nicks now. Yeah. Okay, so Nicole's son is Nick. Yeah. And your friend is Amanda. Amanda and Nick, yeah. And they're married. Yes. Okay, all right. I should say Nick and Amanda Thayer, but okay. Yeah, I know their name. They showed up at the house at some point, right? Chris says, yeah. Okay, all right. Good friends? And no reason to worry about them? No. How do you know Nick? How do you and Shanann know them? Oh, Amanda through Thrive, or actually Amanda was at Primrose at this where the kids went to school. in the past tense. Did you get that? Where the kids went to school. Not where the kids go to school. Not this. It's where the kids went to school. She used to be a director over there. Oh, okay. And once she left, when she left a director position, she left to go to a different school. And that's when Shanann got her on Thrive, and they became friends, and me and Nick started running. Friends, Nick and Amanda come around to show support. Friend, is that Lauren Arnold? Yes. Who's that? Oh, that's Shanann's high school friend. Okay. Oh, and Chris says she lives out here. And Coder says, and how'd she find out about all of this? Chris says, Facebook. And so did you ask them where Shanann might be? Lauren and Shanann were actually supposed to meet up that day. Did what? To meet up that day and this pregnancy pal thing. At your house? Mm-hmm. What time? I don't know. Were there any communications about that? Not to me. How do you know? That was the first thing I'd heard of it, because she said they were supposed to meet up that day. Okay. Well, she came over at 8? Yeah. She said, holy cow, we were going to meet together or something like that? Yeah, like that. She heard about everything on Facebook about Shanann being missing, and she's like, yeah, her and I were supposed to, Lauren said her and I were supposed to meet up and do a little pregnancy pal thing. Is Lauren pregnant? Yeah. Okay. First kid? Third. Oh. And so, both third kids. So they were going to meet up because they're expectant mothers. Yeah, they were probably just going to hang out. Yeah. I mean, probably haven't seen each other in a while. Okay. I ain't worried about her, though. Okay. Who are you worried about? Anybody that I know right now, like, if they haven't told me anything, it'd drive me nuts. This is driving me nuts, because, like, there's no way, like, the people that I know that have kids that could have helped her, that if she's at somebody's house right now, like, they would have to say something. But now, with all that's going on, no way they could have kept their mouths shut by now. So then who are you worried about? Honestly, like, I can't really say, like, I'm worried about anybody right now as far as, like, any of her friends that I know. Yeah. And all of them are, like, showing me, like, their deep concern and what's going on right now. Unlike him. Okay. And I think, like, that deep concern, that can't be faked. Well, he should know it can't be faked because he certainly can't do it, right? He can't fake deep concern at all. I mean, this is like a joke with him. Coder says, okay. And so then he says, what are you worried about then? It has to be somebody, I don't know, honestly. Okay. The only thing I can think of is somebody I don't know. Okay. So, does your gut tell you that Shanann and the kids walked out or that they were taken out? Yesterday, I would have said they walked out. Today, I would have said, I'm leaning in the other direction. Okay. Friends, okay. Dave, you have Dave Cologne, and Jeremy Lindstrom come by to show you support. Who are they? Oh, Dave Cologne, he was when I worked for the Ford. He ran the auto body shop. He actually works for Boulder County Sheriff's Department now. Oh, okay. And Jeremy Lindstrom? Oh, and then Chris says, and Jeremy Lindstrom, he worked in the sales department at Ford when I was at Tech. Mm-hmm. And he works in another Ford dealership now? Oh, and then Chris says, and he works in another Ford dealership now. And Coder says, okay, mm-hmm. and Jeremy's, and Chris says, and Jeremy's, the daughter just watched the kids over that past weekend too. So we know them pretty well. Okay. What was his daughter's name? McKenna. Okay. Was that the one watching the kids the night before? Mm-hmm. Okay. I saw her name in a report or something. How did that go with Dave and Jeremy? Good. They were, they were just there to support and just, chill out in the kitchen. Just the two of them? That just me and them. And Lauren all had moved on by then? Oh yeah, everybody else was gone by then. Okay. And when they come over to show support, what were you guys talking about? Oh, we were just talking about, like, what could have happened? Like, what do you think? Like, what do you think she could have gone somewhere? Like, do you think she's actually taken? Like, was like just random questions like that. Just, and then they're like talking about like this other stuff to get that kind of got my things off my mind a little bit. What do you have to get off his mind? Okay. 10 o'clock. I lay in bed and I proceed to take calls from friends and family members. Right. How'd that go, Chris? Oh, just answering. Nobody could sleep. As far as East Coast or anything, Addie and Sam. Who's Addie and Sam again? Oh, they're leaders in Thrive. Oh, they're people that Shanann reaches up to. Okay. Have we talked to them? Oh, yeah. He talked to them on the phone. You have? I talked. I talked. I texted them right there. It's all on there. Okay. And so the real live communication, since we couldn't find Shanann. Yeah, like that. With them? Have police talked to them? I believe so. Okay. Just on the phone. Yes. Are they in North Carolina? No. Like they're... Okay. Northeast. Northeast what? Like Baltimore or... Oh, okay. Yeah, right. Over there. Okay, all right. Who else calls? Oh, let's see. Her mom. I talked to my parents. I talked to my sister. I talked to her, texted with Kelly. That's another. She lives in New Jersey. Who else? Jeremy, Dave, all those people. I think Chris left somebody out. His mistress? So he was definitely talking to her. Okay, all right. Can we talk about something that's kind of hard to talk about? So when I work investigations like this, I like to keep an open mind on everything. And part of keeping an open mind is listening to you talk about your wife and your marriage. And the day she goes missing is the day that you guys have marital discord. Okay? So you can understand. But now he knows because he's seeing the text and he was just seeing if Chris is going to come clean about who he's been texting and calling. And of course he didn't. Chris says, and he says, what I'm thinking about you, yeah? What do you think about that? So Chris says, it makes me sick to my stomach, honestly. Like, I know, I talked to a few of my friends, this does not look good on you. I'm like, I know. It's like, if people knew that we were having marital issues, they're going to look at me, especially with the way everything looks. And it honestly just makes me sick to my stomach. Because this is something that I would never do. Ever. And I know, like, you have to look at every vantage point. This is something I would never do to my kids or my wife at all. And there comes that at all that Cindy does too, that Chris does after they say something to emphasize it, and the ever too, because he gets that in there because that's supposed to be, really like I'm really telling the truth. I'm not sure like what I could do like to make people believe that just because they they know we were having marital discord, that they are automatically look at me. Now, he doesn't know what he could do. See, that's what it is. Remember the computer? He's got to know what he can do. What can I do? Well, it's really hard for him. He can't even get any tears up. I mean, so what could he do? And he's just not capable of doing what he needs to do because he can't do it. He can talk, he can say the words that somebody tells him, but he can't put the emotion behind them, the right emotions. But there's no way I would harm anybody in my family at all. There comes the at all again, okay? I know we were having marital discord and we had that conversation this morning. And she goes, and we have no idea where she is or the kids. I promise you that is not, I had nothing to do with any of that. You see, he repeats stuff like 3 times, and that's what his neighbor Nate said too. He just repeats it and repeats it like, if I keep saying it, you'll believe it. Are you telling me the truth? I am telling you the absolute truth. Why should I believe you? Now this next part is so rehearsed. He doesn't stammer like he's been stammering through this whole thing. Well, this is a speech that he has. He must have used it a number of times, and he just knows it verbatim, like as if you memorize something for the school play. Well, this is what it's like, you know. Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo, deny thy father? I can still remember that from 9th grade, okay? And I can just recite it like that. That is exactly what he is doing. Because this part doesn't have any of those stammers, because I'm a very trustworthy person. And people that do know me, they know how I am a calm person. I am not an argumentative person. I'm a person that's never going to be abusive or physical in any kind of relationship. I would never harm my kids. I would never harm my wife. And you can talk, you can talk to any of my friends, any of her friends. They know me. They know I'm a low-key guy that's quiet. I'm not about confrontation. I'm not about anything that elevates to that level. You can, like if someone yells at me, screams at me, I just take it. And I just try to get it by the wayside and get it back to where it's cool and just a cool conversation to where like none of that, nothing that gets to that height, because I am not that person. I've never been that person. Do you see the difference? There's not 10,000 likes in there. There's not 10,000 uhs. There's not the beginning of 10 different words. That is something that is so routine for him of why people should believe him. He has that's his description. That's who he is. He could never do this because this is the kind of person he is. So Coder says, okay, you can imagine my job, okay? And I told you tonight that, we're going to talk about some things that might offend you. That we have to get to the bottom of this. You know that. Yeah. Okay. Would you take a polygraph? Sure. Okay, would you take it tonight? If that's what you want me to do. I've never done one. I don't know like what it involves, but okay. You know what it is. From what I've seen, it goes on your fingers. Yeah. You know what the purpose of one is. Oh, it's for a lie detector test. Okay, all right. Well, why don't we do this? Let's take a little break. I'm going to come back in here because I have a lot more questions for you, okay? I want to remind you that tonight is voluntary, okay? I can't keep you in here. I won't keep you in here. If you want to get right up and walk out of here, you can do that, okay? All right? Do you want to keep talking with me? I can. Okay. If that's what you want, I can keep talking. Okay. And you understand that I'm not arresting you right now. You know how Coder says, I'm not arresting you right now? No, I'll be arresting you later. And you understand that you can walk out of here at any time. Check, is what he says. Check. Okay. Having said that, I do want to talk to you. I have a lot more questions for you. Okay. Do you know where your wife is? I do not know where my wife is. Are you telling me the truth? I'm telling you the absolute truth. Okay, let's take a tiny break. Get some water. Do you need to use the restroom? Not right now. I'm surprised. I think that Chris would have had to change his pants by now. Okay, there's some water or Gatorade, actually, if you need it. I'm going to step out for a minute. I need to look over some of my notes, and I'm going to come right back in here. I'm not going to be out very long, okay? Sure. All right. I'll be right back. We have everyone else. I'm just going to go keep the room for a little bit longer, so I'm just going to shuffle people through the other rooms. Okay. So he is shuffling people through the rooms. There's a big break. Chris is in there. You see him on the video if you watch, and he just, sometimes he looks, just down at the table. He doesn't have his phone at this point. I believe Coder still has his phone out. They're doing something to it, so he's not able to look at any pictures or videos other than anything that's already in that room. So he's basically just shifting around in the chair and not really doing much of anything. So now, at this point, they're going to talk about the girls, and they're going to talk about little things that they do, little things about them that any parent, if they were truly, parents are wistful, even if they're on a vacation and they start talking about their kids, or even out to dinner or whatever. But if you think your kids are truly gone, and you're going to sit there and you're going to talk about them, and your wife is gone, you're not going to, you just don't act like this. He has no emotion through this, and Special Agent Coder has more emotion when he talks about Celeste and the boots, okay? So Coder says, how are you feeling after that, the pause? Looking at that picture, Celeste looks like she was winter shoes. Coder says, they're what? Chris says, winter shoes. And they're her boots, aren't they? And Coder's got this, he's just acting, the way somebody would with his feeling, and he doesn't even know this little girl. And then Chris says, Shanann was going to sell them off to the Facebook Marketplace. She had them on the windowsill there, and when we got back from North Carolina, I guess Cece saw them sitting over there, and she proceeded to take them back and wear them every day since they got back. No matter if it was 100 degrees out or what, she loved those shoes. She loved them. Past tense again. She always loved those shoes. Past tense again. And Bella, she always wore some flip-flops. She always will. She's just like, she loves that dress. She loves those flip-flops. Cece loves that dress because it has buttons on the back. Is Cece short for something? Celeste. Celeste. Bella and Celeste. Tell me about them. B and C. Celeste, she was rampage. She was always the one that was going gung-ho. She was always the one, she's just like, she's either go or sleep. She's always the one growling. She's always been, she's a tiger. And Bella, she's the calm, the mothery one. She's the one that's always, are you okay? You okay? Fine. Okay. She's just the sweetest little girl. She's the one that favors me more than Celeste. That's the one that favors Shanann more. When you say favored you, you mean look like? Yes. Okay. Are they little daddy's girls? That one is. And he's pointing to Celeste. Yeah, that's how it works, isn't it? Because the first one, I wasn't really good at it yet. Second one, I knew what I was doing, and she bonded with me right from the start. Yeah. I remember when they wore that dress. She just wore that dress not too long ago, and I unbuttoned the back of it so I could get her pajamas on, and she goes, no, Daddy, buttons. I go, buttons, got buttons, and Bella loved those spaghetti strap dresses. She likes long dresses. She's a girly girl. Oh, always. Cece is just like she wants. I always put on her Supergirl t-shirt, and she loved it. Loved. Every time Cece's always be smiling though. Bella, yeah, but like really kind of is like, do you want some gum? Say cheese. She said, you want some gum? She would have been looking in the picture. Cece always just smiled in the camera. You're going to find them, right? I need your help. I got to find them. And find Shanann. This is the picture somebody sent me, where they're side by side, and he's showing a picture. Bella and Celeste and Shanann. There was a post like the one from the news companies. Okay. And so the picture they used of the girls. And he goes, all right, were you thinking about anything while I stepped out? Just how much I want to see those two girls and my wife again. Just I want them to come back. Just I want them to come home. I mentioned that when children go missing and the FBI, it's a lot like you see in the movies. Okay? We like to get every single one of our resources. We like to call everyone and wake them up out of bed and call them back from vacations. We just really like to put a full force in. Yes. No. Is that something that you're comfortable supporting? Yes. Okay. That means I want to have as many eyes, as many hands, as many investigators, as many evidence people as we can possibly get looking at your house. Okay. Can we do that right this minute? If you want to. Okay. I'll stay out of the way if you want. Okay. That's usually best for you, for us. Okay. For everyone, okay? So I'm going to stay at my friend's house then. Is that an option? Yes, if they're still outside. Oh, he says, okay. I'm not sure about this. All right, you've got my phone. Coder says, okay, I forget to ask about your phone. And Chris says, yeah, I'm not going to sleep. I hate to sleep there anyways. Okay. But it's concrete block. Isn't that funny? He's going to be sleeping in a lot of concrete block, right? So what I might do then, 5 or 10 minutes, I might just step out for a very quick break and just say, guys, let's go in that house right now. 2385, Chris says. Yeah, you did tell me that. I did write it down. The garage is 2385. The front door. The front door, 2385. And that latch, whatever, is not going to get in our way. Okay? It should be unlatched. Okay, good, right. If it is, just call me. And when we go there, I want them to run a black light over everything. I want them, to collect DNA. I want them to look for hair strands and DNA samples. And I want them to look at your stuff and your wife's stuff and your children's stuff and the garage stuff and the car stuff. All of it. Sure. Is that all right? Yeah. Okay, do you have any problems with that? Okay, do you have any problems with that? Okay. So then I want them to do that sooner than later. I might step up here out in a minute and tell them the code and just let them, let their guys, let's find out how we can get these girls. Okay? Can we keep talking about some complicated things? Sure. And things that are going to make you uncomfortable. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. I think you know why I have to ask them. Yeah. Okay. And Chris says, hard job. It is a hard job. It's a hard job. And I'm going to ask you one thing, and you're going to give me an answer. And then I'm going to ask you in a slightly different way. Then I'm going to ask it in a slightly bit different, and you're going to give me the answer. And in about 10 iterations of this, you might get annoyed. But I do that to make sure that we understand each other. Okay, is that right? Okay. It's a hard job. It is a hard job. And I'm going to ask you one thing, and you're going to give me an answer, and then I'm going to ask it just a slightly bit different, and you're going to give me the answer. And in about 10 iterations of this, you might get annoyed. But I do that to make sure that we understand each other. Okay, is that all right? Yeah, okay. So we have your daughters going missing. We have your wife who's missing, okay? And that's the most important thing right now. Do you agree with that? Yes. Okay. So you've done very good in talking to me about the really hard conversation you guys had, okay? Very good. That's sometimes hard. And I understand why sometimes someone in your position doesn't want to tell me about that, because please go and help me find my kids, and you don't need to know about my marriage argument, okay? So I gotta say, you've done very good at that. And I need you to keep doing that. So I need to ask you about your marriage and infidelity. Okay, all right, so tell me about it. I never cheated on my wife. Yeah? And I fully suspect she's never done that to me. Okay. Like, she has always been a trustworthy person. I've always been a trustworthy person. I fully expect if we ever thought about straying another way, that we would tell each other before it happened. I think that sounds ridiculous. Okay. Because in the history of the earth, nobody ever does that. Okay. I mean, that's what I like to think. Okay. I mean, I know mistakes happen. Sure. Like, yeah. But that's when I think in my head, that's what I would think. Okay. I would hope would happen. Okay. But now, even though I think that sounds ridiculous, if I were in your shoes, I'd say the exact same thing. And I believe that, okay, but I kind of don't. And you imagine in my job, I meet all kinds of people. And you can imagine that there are people who have Saturdays with their girlfriends and Sundays with their wives. Okay. Right? And they consider themselves to be virtuous people. Okay? So with that in mind, I don't care. I don't care if there's been anything in your relationship. I just don't. And I'm not going to tell the news. I'm not going to tell anyone, but I need to know. So if there's anyone that you think maybe your wife got close with, if she did, then it was like secret. Then that was the case. Okay. Because I had no inkling. No inkling? At all. No, okay. It wasn't even a suspicion? Oh, and then Chris says, it wasn't even a suspicion. Okay. Not one guy or girl? It's just that if that was the case, I mean, I don't have a suspicion about it. Right. That if it happened, it wasn't even like, I wasn't aware. Nothing, no? There was no clue. There was no like, okay, texting with the phone like back, or like, I walk in, swipe kind of thing. Kind of like what you probably were doing, Chris? Pretty good at knowing that, right? What you would do, it kind of like with the phone, swiping away something. I didn't have any of that. Okay. So no perfume when she's going out with the girls? She always she always sprayed something on. You know what I mean. Yeah, I know that. A special perfume. It wasn't like, like that 1 in a million perfume. Okay. Or something like that, All right. No late nights that surprised you? No. Okay. Now let's talk about you. Okay. I'm on your end. I gotta ask. What's her name? I don't have another one. You sure? I'm sure. Okay, would you tell me if you did? Yes. Okay. So again, highly trained investigator over here, right? I see pictures of you from a few years ago. And I see you standing before me now, okay? you've gotten pretty fit. Yeah. Yeah. You can imagine when guys start cheating or want to cheat, that's what happens. Yes. So tell me about it. I did not cheat on my wife. Okay. Now, Thrive helped me. I went from 245 pounds to about... You were 245 pounds? I was 245 pounds. And Coder says, Jesus. And Chris says, and then Coder says, you look great, man. And then Chris says, thank you. And I'm 185, 180 right now. And I've been eating cleaner, just trying to get the last little bit. Thrive has helped me a lot, but to maintain it and try to eat cleaner has really helped me as well. Okay. And I've got to imagine that maybe there's a girl that inspired that? No. No? No. Okay. Why are you falling out of love? Over the last 5 weeks, being by myself and being able to be myself again, I couldn't be myself around Shanann anymore. Why not? It was like I was walking just I got, walk on eggshells type of thing. It's kind of like you don't know, you feel like you're always doing something that's wrong. It's like you feel like you're never doesn't make that much sense at all. The timing doesn't make much sense to me. Okay, but it's like if you can't be yourself around your wife, who can you be yourself around? Why couldn't you be yourself around your wife? I just felt like I'd always have to change who I was because I was always I was doing the law. I do everything. I do everything that I could for her. Everything. And then the last, always I was just, just being myself and doing me. And I thought to myself, one of my buddies, Mark, the guy that can't even think for himself, he lives out in San Diego. It's one big test that he learned, he's divorced at one point, and it was so if you could picture yourself, if you could picture your wife and she was with someone else, would that get you jealous? And I was at this point, I have to say no. And then he was well, there's your answer. If you loved her, it would be a different answer. Boy, Mark, you know, I don't know what you're doing out there, but you should probably go into psychology because you're just amazing. You can't think for yourself because you have developed an attitude towards somebody that you've never experienced anything negative from, but you think of them in a negative light because Cindy called you up and told you things, and you can't think for yourself, but now you're telling your friend this little experiment that you're doing, that means there's his answer right there. Is that how you got divorced to your wife? That must have been good, because well, yeah, why'd you? Yeah, because I just thought about that, and that means you're not in love anymore, and there's no way, that's it. Out. Bye. Mark's a great guy to take advice from. Good going there. And I think Mark, probably dealing with Chris all the time, probably explains things because Chris doesn't. It's very hard for Chris to feel emotions. Now, Mark's dealt with Chris since I think they were 8 years old. So he probably tells Chris a lot of scenarios that he's got to put himself in order to feel if there's any emotions there. But Chris doesn't feel any emotions. So it's just futile anyway. So then Coder says, when did you start falling out of love? And then Chris says, it wasn't in the last 5 weeks. It's been going on. It's an ongoing process for probably about a year. Why? I just feel like everything that we had when we first started and met, we met in 2010. Everything was, a new relationship spark. Everything was great. Get married, everything's still great. Here's his presentation, okay? And you can hear the difference in the way he talks. And then, people just fall out of love, and that's where I was. I just felt over the last year, I thought that, like, okay, maybe this is just like a phase, Maybe it's, like, just, this is what happens when you've been with somebody so long. Maybe, like, one spark isn't there, then you just reignite it somehow. Bungee jumping, remember, Chris? That's the way to reignite the spark. You said bungee jumping. Did you try bungee jumping? Maybe, like, that spark isn't there and you just reignite it somehow, some way. But, our conversations weren't the same. Like, when we were apart, like, everything was just like, short. And it was just like, nothing felt right anymore. The disconnection was there. And it's never felt right anymore. But why? It's just, it wasn't there. Like, I didn't feel it. Like, it was like, I didn't have that passion anymore. What passion, Chris? Why not? Honestly, I couldn't tell you, like, it's the passion. Okay? I didn't feel it in my heart anymore. I really couldn't, like, just give you a definitive answer other than that it just wasn't in my heart anymore. And Coder says, I gotta tell you, it sounds like a load of horseshit to me. To me too. What about the girls? Well, Bella and Celeste, they're the light of my life. I'd do anything for those girls. I'd step in front of a bullet. I'd stand in front of a train for those girls. It doesn't add up to me then. Why did the spark die? Oh, the parental relationship between me and Shanann has nothing to do with the love I have for these girls. I mean, you love the girls, they're the light of my life. I would do anything for them. But me and Shanann talked about, like, if we separated or if we stayed together, like, what's best for the kids? Like, do we stay together for the kids? Then you need to look it up. Now, here, listen to this. Remember those articles that the Mistress was sending him that he had to look up? He mentions them right here about the divorce, how she said it was better to do it when they're young. And in another part, I don't know where it is. Remember she mentioned that word homework? Well, he uses that word homework. Homework. You got to do your homework about a divorce. And that's exactly what the Mistress used. Now here he's going to reference the articles that you look up. Okay? Like, you got to do what's best for your kids. Like, do we stay together for the kids? That you need to look it up. It doesn't work that way. Like, it might cause more issues for the kids down the road. Remember the Mistress's cousins? The Mistress was Celeste and Bella's age, her and her sister, and they were great. They got bunk beds, and nothing affected them. They turned out to be just the most they turned out to be the most wonderful human beings put on this planet. So you would, of course, want to replicate whatever was done in her life. So if her parents divorced really early and they got bunk beds, you'd absolutely want to do that. It kind of makes you think maybe, like, we should all be thinking about it because she turned out so well. Maybe that's the way to go. Do you think we should all just do that? We can get bunk beds for our kids and, she turned out really good. Okay, so, it could cause issues for the kids down the road. Their psyche, their personality, or something, they know when they get older and they can see, like, why don't you sleep in the same room anymore? Like, what's going on type of thing. So then Coder says, okay, if you had to guess, if you had to put your finger on it, if you had to, why do two people that are hot and heavy, they have kids they love, what happened? I mean, you can't take the kids into the factor because, like, when the love you have for your kids is going to be, like, exponential. I mean, it'll, no matter what, that would never die. Because they're your kids. Really, Chris? That would never die. Between you and your wife, like, the love that you have, like, for each other from the start to the finish, like, from when you started and you're in, if your relationship ends, like when you're in that type of relationship, you're in with somebody that long, he's been married 6 years, that long. That type of relationship, you're with somebody that long, something happens, it's like conversations, or it's just like, I mean, it's not attractiveness at all. We know that. We see who you went for. Like, it's just a connection that isn't there. Like, when you can look at someone and you can put your forehead to their forehead and just like hold them like that, and you know what the other one is thinking. That's a connection. I didn't have that connection anymore. Oh, Chris, that's insightful. I think everybody uses that as a measuring stick for their relationship. So let's get this. You can put your foreheads together, and then you can hold each other, and you just know what the other one's thinking. All right, guys, if you're not feeling that in your relationship, I think that's coming from his side piece. So I think anybody not feeling that in their relationships, just, there's no connection anymore. That's the connection. That's how you tell, okay? So tonight, you put your forehead against your partner's forehead, you hold them, okay? And then you see if you can read each other's thoughts. And if you can't, there's no connection anymore. So, what are you going to do? You win some, you lose some, right? Okay. What do I do to help you walk out of this room and not look like a person who's responsible? Chris says, you have to trust me when I tell you that these two beautiful girls right here, I did nothing to them. And to my beautiful wife, I did nothing to her. Like, you have to trust me and believe me. Like, I know you don't know me as a person. I mean, you've known me for what, like 2.5, 3 hours? Opinion is. You don't know what his opinion is, Chris? You know what you should do? Put your forehead against his and hold him and see if you can read what his opinion is. Because we can all see it. But you have to realize that these two beautiful girls right here and my wife, I had nothing to do with the disappearance. Like, they've vanished. There's that vanished. Okay? They've vanished. He made them vanish, but they vanished. They were taken. Yes, they were. He's telling the truth here. They vanished. They were taken. He's telling the truth, guys. Someone has taken. They're safe somewhere. We don't know. I had nothing to do with this act of like evil cruelty. Whatever has happened here. This act of evil cruelty. So he understands, he knows what happened to them. He knows it's an act of evil cruelty. This is just too easy of a guy to interrogate. I mean, this is almost like when they do a mock scene and then you're like, wait, hold on. You're making this too easy. Nobody's ever going to be like this. I need you to really you got to hold out a little bit because it's not a good test for me. But this is real, okay? This is like taking candy from a baby, as they would say, right? He's unbelievable, this guy. So this act of evil cruelty, whatever has happened here, because my love for these two girls and my wife, like, I don't want anything to happen to them. I'd never want anything to happen to them. No matter if me and my wife separate or not, or divorce or anything. I never wish harm on anybody, on a human being in general. And Coder says, okay. And then he says, like, just seeing this picture here, no tears, I need them. I want them just to run through the front door and just grab me. Or just tackle me. Knock me to the floor. Bust my head. I don't care. The amount of love I have from my family is exponential. There he goes with that word again. Okay? And it's never going to die. And I want them back. Okay. I have to have them back. Sure. Tell me about a normal day in your house. What, like one when I'm actually home all day? Let's pick a day. Okay. 2 months ago. That's when it started. Let's pick a school day. Okay. So I'm usually at work. Okay. But so usually, so their lives and your lives, Okay, so school is school day, so I'll get up about 4 o'clock. I'll go down, work out for maybe about an hour or so. At your house? Yeah. There's a weight bench in the basement. Okay. So I get done with that. I come back upstairs probably about 5 o'clock. I'll eat some breakfast, make some eggs, cottage cheese, something like that. Everybody else still sleeping. I'll make the girls milk. I make Cece's milk. I'll bring it upstairs. Bella's usually kind of iffy on milk in the morning. And so I just, okay, fill up the water bottles, put them in the refrigerator. This is just everything he goes through. Make sure the backpacks have a change of clothes and their hat. And if it's like swim, like a water day or something, I make sure they have their water shoes in there. I make sure they have their sunscreen. I make sure they all have that all in their backpacks. Change of clothes for what? In case they have an accident. Oh, yeah, they're little. Yeah. Okay. Not so much Bella, but Celeste. Sure. And then I make sure that they have their little blankies, that they, when they go to nap, okay. And then they have all that with them. I have that all laid out, and I have to go to work. So Shanann, well, the kids dictate when Shanann wakes up, and usually it's Bella. She'll come in there, lay in the bed with her, and then Celeste will wake up, and she'll come in and lay in bed with her, and they'll watch cartoons for a little while at least. And probably around 6:30, they'll get out. She'll probably be in the bathroom at this point while they're watching, because Celeste has her milk at this point in time when she's still in the bed. Okay. Shanann's getting ready. She's probably taking a shower, putting her makeup on, all that kind of stuff. And then she'll take the kids over to their rooms, get them dressed, and then, get them out of their pajamas. And Bella has a school uniform. Cece didn't have one yet. So okay. Get them dressed, go downstairs, have breakfast. Cece will usually probably have cereal. Bella probably, she likes cinnamon toast. And they may be like, have a little snack on the way to school, maybe some dry cereal or something. Okay. And she'll then put them in their car seats and go to school. And then they'll stay at school till about 4 o'clock, 4:30. I'll usually be home by then. I can go pick them up. I go in there, sign them out, get them in the car, drive back home. They'll be screaming the whole way home because they want mommy. That's very strange. Because if this is something he normally does, why are the kids screaming the whole way home? Because they want mommy. They should be comfortable if this is something he normally does, picking them up, right? I mean, that's kind of weird. To me it is. I mean, my husband does a lot with our kids, but they're never screaming the whole way home. So when he's getting them out of nursery school, whatever, there's never that. And when I pick them up, there's never that. They're comfortable with both of us. So I don't understand why the kids would be screaming for mommy the whole way home. If this is something he does and he's such an involved dad, they shouldn't be screaming. They should be comfortable with him. It's kind of weird to me. Because, they do have a long day at school. He must have seen he must have heard how weird that sounded. So then he's just saying, it's because they had a long day at school. And I get home, Shanann will have something for the girls, like whatever they want it to be. It might be pizza, sometimes they want french fries, sometimes they want chicken nuggets, sometimes they're bossy, just just whatever. Most of the time they like buttered noodles. They love that. Okay. So sit them down, wash their hands, sit them at the table, and they'll eat their dinner, and then usually go upstairs, take a shower, then get them all washed up, then get them dried off, get some lotion, get their pajamas on. What parent, every step is labeled for this guy because he needs that. Every single step. Most parents would say, after dinner, we give them a bath. You don't have to say, and then we dry them off. I mean, it's a given. You're going to dry your kids off after they have a bath. Okay? It's just, he puts in so much stuff. And we know he's talking a lot because he's trying to fill this time, because he's in his head. He's probably saying all kinds of things to himself. Like, you're done here, Chris. What are you going to do? This guy's got your number. This is probably your last night of freedom ever. Okay. So get them dried off, get them some lotion, get them their pajamas, go back downstairs, have a little snack. They, they'll take any, Cheez-Its or vanilla wafers or something. And then they'll sit in their little couches and they'll watch a cartoon. And then 7 o'clock, and then between 6:30 and 7, we're giving them the medicine or any medicine they need at that point in time. If one of them has a fever, okay, whatever else. And then we brush their teeth, upstairs. Cece gets an overnight diaper, Bella doesn't, and read them a book. Cece really wants a tiger book. And I'll read to her. We growled the last part. Is that what you said? That she's your tiger? Yes. And turn on the rain machines, give them both a kiss goodnight. Cece wants me to put her to bed. Bella wants Shanann to put her to bed. Close the door and night-night. Okay, all right. Can we talk a little bit more on the morning they disappeared? Okay. We already talked about the 4 o'clock alarm. We prepped until 4:15. Correct me if I'm wrong. 4:15, it's a challenging talk. Starts, you leave somewhere around 5:30, 5:20 something. Yeah. Then what? What was your day like? So I went out to locations. Now he says locations. Listen, where's that? I was at one of the locations. So he's getting evasive now because he knows what's at the location, right? Oh, locations. Okay. Yeah. So I worked out at these oil locations until 12:10. That's when I got the doorbell visitor notification. Okay, what do you do out there? What do you do? What kind of work? What do you do out there? What do you do at work? Oh, I'll just operate the oil and gas locations we have running. Okay. Yeah, like either maintenance or like the inspections or like trying to get them running again type of thing. Are you the guy with the wrench or are you the boss? I'm one of the field coordinators. Okay. So like the area we have, like really it's really big. So like I have me and 2 other guys that are field coordinators, and then we have 2 rovers. So they go around to the area and they help all the operators, and then we have 6 route operators. Okay, so the field coordinators, we kind of get everybody like, all right, like this is what we're going to do type of thing. Okay, and dispense. Okay, type of thing. So then you left at 5:30. Which location did you go to? To Survey 319. What is, that's like a well location. Is that a well location? Yes, we have the Survey 1029. See, now he's given him a different number, okay? Survey. Yeah, it's just well names. Yes. And now listen to this. And this is not a misprint because I listened to it on the video too. Coder says, like Survey. S-E-R-V-Y. Survey? And Chris says, yeah. We know it's spelled C-E-R-V-I, right? Chris apparently doesn't remember that. Or does he? And then there was 11:29, and we stayed at 10:29 most of the day. So he's trying to get the heck away from that Survey 319. We were like hardly there, and we were all, we were at that 11 something, and we were at that other one, 10:29. We were there most of the day. Yep. Most of the day, he left at 12 o'clock, right? And so those are numbers I don't even understand, Coder says. And he says, it's like section numbers, number type thing. Okay. That's how they do it. That's how they name them. Okay. So then it might be that, God forbid, 2 weeks from now, we're still looking for them, and it's going to be very important that all of this can jar your memory, right? Yeah. Okay. So I'm taking notes to survey what? And then listen to what Chris says. So we have 11:29. He's taken him away from that 319. Where'd you go first? Well, 319. 319, where, and what crossroad would that be on? It's on a ranch. Oh, okay. Yeah. Survey 319, Coder says? Yeah. How long were you at Survey 319? Oh, probably about an hour. I was out there checking a line, like we had leaking at 4 on Friday. Okay. So that took about an hour? Yeah. And then what? Then I went on to 1129. Okay, again, is that just in the middle of a ranch? Yeah, it's the same ranch. Okay, so how far away? Not far. Walking distance? No, not a walking distance. It's a big ranch? Yeah, I'll drive there. Okay. How long were you guys at 1129? Oh, probably about 20 minutes or so. Doing what? I was checking to just doing an inspection over there, see if I can get the well to run again. Okay. This one you have to kind of run manually? Oh, Chris says, this one you've got to like kind of run manually. Okay. And then where? Oh, the 1029. We were there most of the rest of the day. Okay, Chris, you were at work most of the rest of the day. Doing what? Replace. We're trying to get a pumping unit to pump back up. And some of the box rubbers, they were leaking, and the rods, they were smoking. So we had to replace them. And that's what took a very long time. How long were you out there? The rest, until 12:10. Now he's realizing, wait, I left 12:10. Okay, now another lie. Now this guy's really suspecting me. I'm really doing bad. You're doing bad, Chris. Oh my gosh, Chris, you're doing so bad. So 6-7 hours? Oh, yeah, like, right. Yeah. 6, 7? Well, at least like 5 hours. It seemed like 5. And were there people there with you? He doesn't say that he was alone for a period of time, so he says, oh, there were people with me, like I gave their names. Okay. Where is, the police know this? Yeah. Troy McCoy, Tab McNeil, Melissa Parrish, Cody Roberts, and they were all out there with me. Okay. And you said you called home at about 7:30 or so? I texted at 7:40. Texted, okay. And then there was something like, and then that was something like, where are you? Yeah, I couldn't go back that far on my phone to see when I called, but I did call her 2 or 3 times during that. During what? He couldn't go back on his phone that far? That morning, he couldn't go back on his phone that far? What is he talking about? And why then? Was that a better part of the day for you to text? Yeah, because like I was at that point in time, like I was about to try and call my foreman and everything else, like just like to talk about him and tell him what I found out. Like I kept like just, it wouldn't ring out there then. What you found out? What do you mean? Well, the line that we're fitting. Oh, okay. Yeah, like we have a bypass line. The back pressure line, and we have to get an oil tank, and it was leaking in the ground. Okay. But like I was not getting any phone calls though, so that's why I was texting. Okay. So let's have that hard conversation again, okay? How old are they? 4 and 3. Bella will be 5 in December. Okay. You can imagine every day that goes by, it gets harder to find them. When we don't find your girls, where we don't find your girls, and they get harder to find, we're going to have less clues. Then we need to get things that we need to get and need to use, and that we need to do to find them are going to start getting blown away by weather, getting recorded over themselves, like the surveillance part that's going to tell us, All of that is going to disappear, okay? And that's why we're going to spend so much time today, tomorrow, or as it's in front of the today, tomorrow, as it's in front of us as we can, right? You can also imagine that every day that goes by, we're going to be looking for the man who did this, okay? And you can imagine that we're going to include you as that man. So let's talk about that. I think you're trying to put on a brave face because you're a man and you're a father and you're a husband. I can tell that there's just something you're not telling me. And I'm not sure what it is, and I don't know why that is. I don't know why you're not telling me that there's something that's making you a little bit uncomfortable tonight. I just don't believe some of the things that you're telling me. Okay? I just simply do not believe you. And this is, I've talked about this before, what he says right now. We'll hear that at all again. What makes you think, what have I said that makes you not believe me at all? At all, we put that in there. And now just tell me what it is. Tell me what I'm doing and I'll try to reprogram it. This just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up to many of us. So we can talk about two Chris's, okay? Two Chris's? Yeah, the tale of two Chris's. Kind of, and you need to help me here, and you need to help me know which Chris I'm looking at today, okay? And which Chris you really are. So Chris number one is right here, right, and fell out of love with his wife, okay? Started wondering what it might be if he didn't have a wife to take care of and girls to take care of. Spent some time alone, like that time alone. Comes home, may or may not have had a conversation about how to get out of this, about how to get out of this marriage or how to fix it, but probably how to get out of it. Is looking at a bachelor pad in Brighton and did something terrible to his wife and kids. And that may have been an accident. And I think it was an accident. And Chris says, that's not the Chris you're looking at right here. No. Nope. The Chris you're looking at is the man who loves these kids and loves his wife and will never, ever, ever do anything to harm them. That's the Chris that you're looking at right now. This Chris you're looking at right now wants these kids and his wife back at his home right now. That's the Chris you're looking at. Okay, and the coder says, why didn't you call 911? I didn't think anything was wrong. I think you know what was wrong. I did not know what was wrong, sir. I promise you that. What do you think it's going to look like when someone finds out that it wasn't you that called 911? Everybody's going to have their own perception about what was going on here, but I know my wife. I know that sometimes she doesn't text me back. I know that happens. It's happened to me multiple times through many days that she's busy with work. It doesn't happen. That's why it didn't register for me that day. We're back to the tale of two Chris's. Okay. There's a Chris who cares. I care, I promise. And he laughs at this when he says this. He says, I care, I promise. And he's got that little snicker, okay? Tell me about the call to your daycare. To Primrose? I called them to see if the girls were there. They said they weren't there. Okay. I told them since they weren't there to put them on the waiting list. That's not what you told them. I told them that we were going to sell the house, put it on the market. We probably won't be in the area anymore. That's two different things, Chris. Well, I want them to be back on... I put them on the waiting list that they weren't on there. Why weren't they there? I don't know. Where were they going to go? They went to... Shanann took them to a friend's house. Why wouldn't they go to daycare? I'm not sure. I honestly, sir, I am not sure. Now he starts with this, sir, okay? Because maybe if I show him some respect, maybe if I do that, then he'll really think I'm telling the truth and that there's nothing wrong. It's hard for me as a father to talk to you like this. Not because it's hard, not because it's a hard issue to talk about. It's because I'm worried about your daughters under your care. Okay? You shouldn't have to worry about them under my care. Okay? I watched them all weekend. I went to a pool party. I went to a pool party at Jeremy Lindstrom's house. Like, I love those kids with all my heart. And nothing in the world would ever make me do anything to those kids or my wife. When you walk out of this room, there's nothing I can say to a room full of police officers out there that's going to convince them that you have nothing to do with this. I know. You know what they think. I know what all of them, yeah. There's a guy who didn't call 911, who woke up his wife at a ridiculous hour because he's so guilty about something that he's just got to get it off his chest and say, I don't love you anymore, I'm leaving you. That didn't go well. Okay, so what happened? She told me she wanted me to wake her up before I left. That's why. I didn't just wake her up, like, to tell her this. Like, I woke her up because that's what she wanted me to do. We talked, like, usually at 4, and I wake up, I go down, I work out. This day, I wanted to talk to her about this. I love those girls. I love those girls so much. And this picture right here, Celeste and Bella, those are my life. I helped make those kids. There's nothing in my life that means more to me than those kids. Nothing. Kids, that's your life. That's your lifeline. That's everything. That you made kids. They come first over everything. Kids, spouse, family. That's what it's always been. No, Chris, it's for you. It's Mistress above all. He said in another thing that he never loved anyone as much as he loved that Mistress. Nothing that you told me tonight makes sense. Nothing you've told me tonight feels like the truth. Can we start over? Sure. I think that there's something that happened that got maybe a little bit out of control. There was no fight. There was nothing physical. It was a conversation. No, we didn't raise a voice. Nothing. I promise you that, sir. Here's the sir again. There's nothing physical with this conversation. But Chris, there is no conversation. What was the last thing? What was the last thing you saw about your daughters? Last thing I saw, like when I left? What did it look like? Saw them on the monitor and it was switching back and forth. What's the last thing you saw with your wife? She was laying back in bed. I was walking out the bedroom door. Okay, and when we finally find the guy who took them, what do you think we should do? Honestly, like, they're going to come home safe, correct? When you find the guy. When we find the guy, they're going to come home. Life in prison would be that's what I would think for 2 kids that are involved. What if he hurt them? That's, I'm not sure if, like, the penalty is even used. Is it used in Colorado? I am unsure. What is? The death penalty. Okay. And I mean, if those kids are not alive, like, there's nothing you could do to cope with that, to make me cope with that, if those kids are not okay. Okay, all right. What was your plan after you guys separated? That I'd get an apartment? Mm-hmm. Yeah, nearby? We just go our separate ways. Like, I would probably get an apartment. She would try to sell the house first, of course. Mm-hmm. Before we could do anything like that. Mm-hmm. And honestly, like, try to both get an apartment close by. Okay. To that, he says, it's like 50-50 like thing, because I was going to go to the 8-6 schedule in September. I was going to go to the 8 o'clock to 6 o'clock schedule in September. Okay. And then I'd have 6 days off, and it would be perfect, you know. I'd have kids for half, and she'd have the kids, and that would work. All right. Okay, tonight's been pretty intense. I can imagine how you're feeling. I slept like 2 hours, so like running on empty right now, but I know. I can see it. So why don't we do this? I'm sure you don't mind if we take a break for the night. I'm sure like you're feeling worse. Oh, and I'm sure you are feeling some of the pressure from me, okay? You're doing your job. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't grill you a little, right? Okay? I've seen you turn into two different guys. I honestly, like, I've been like where you're smiling, and then I've seen like it's different. Good, Chris. It's called expressions that are caused by feelings and emotions. Good job identifying that, Chris. Coder says, yeah. And then he says, yeah, okay. You're doing your job, though. I can't fault you for anything you've asked. Okay. Feel good, Coder. He can't fault you for anything you're doing there. You're just doing your job. Yeah, I'm going to commit to you that we're not going to stop working until we find them. Okay. Okay. And I want to commit to you that there is going to come a time when you are going to feel this pressure from other people. I'm not the only one who thinks that there's a possibility you have something to do with this. You mean like another FBI agent, like pressure like that? Like everyone, Chris. Okay. Have you ever watched the news where it said 2 girls and a pregnant woman go missing? Okay? And if that's all you heard, what do you think the public thinks? Husband. Okay. So I'm going to make a commitment to you. I'm going to commit to you that I'm going to be your guy, okay? I'm going to be your guy that handles this investigation, okay? And I'm going to be your guy that you can come to, okay? Because I hope you realize I'm a nice guy. Tonight, we had a talk. We had to talk about some tough things. But I hope you know that I did it respectfully. I think you can see that I'm a nice guy. And so we go on through tonight, the hours, the days, and I hope we don't get to hour or days. I hope it's minutes, right? Until this is over. Yes. But just in case, if not, I want you to know that I wanted to be in this room tonight. I wanted to talk to you. Okay? Okay. And I hope you want to talk to me, okay? When you have questions, when you have concerns, I want you to call me. Okay, and I hope that you want to talk to me, okay? When you have questions, when you have concerns, I want you to call the detective that you work with, and I want you to call me, okay? And I want you to know that if you have a question, if you think we're not doing something enough or well enough, I want you to call and say, I got to call Graham, or I've got to call Dave, okay? Okay. And when you need to have a night to yell at someone, maybe have a good cry, I want you to call me, okay? Okay. And he says, okay, I can't imagine what you're going through. I just can't. Like today has been really a whirlwind. Like yesterday, I thought they were just at somebody's house. And today, with the drones, the police, the news, I feel like it's like a scene out of a movie that it's just too much. It's just too much for one person to handle. My dad's flying in tomorrow. Good. Okay. So you have your dad. Who else do you have? Nick, Amanda, Dave, Jeremy. Okay. Now you've only known me for 3 hours, but I want to be a part of that team. Okay? Okay. I want to be a part of that team that helps you. And I want to be part of that. And I want you to be part of my team. Okay. Okay. Tonight when you go home, one of 2 things is going to happen. You're going to pass out because you're so tired, okay? And that's probably not going to be what happens. Your head's going to go race, okay? So when you lay down and your head starts racing, there's going to be things that come to your mind, okay? This always happens. It's very natural. He's setting him up for this, right? You're going to say, I wonder why he asked me that. Okay? You're going to say, screw him. How dare he accuse me? Okay? You're going to say, I wonder if they thought of this. Okay? And then you're going to say, I probably should have told him something. Or this or that, okay? And those are the most common things when these thoughts come to your mind. I want you to call me, okay? I want you to call David, okay? It's fine for your mind to race. I want you to call me, okay? You need a lifeline. You need someone you can call. I want to be that guy, all right? And I want you to know that if I didn't accuse you a little bit, you'd probably wonder if I was good at my job. One of my buddies, he was straight with me. He was like, dude, I'll just be a no veil. Like, none of this looks good, right? It's like, he's like, I'm not going to accuse anybody, but like, I'm not going to be like, he has a wife and kids and they're friends, like, they won't talk to you right now. Yeah. I'm like, huh? So I know. So we have this Chris, right? Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the other Chris. He's just right here, okay? I can see that you're a good man, right? You have beautiful daughters with good clothing that look well fed, right? Children that are unhappy don't smile like this, okay? Those are beautiful kids. Those kids have a good dad, and I know it. It's just a little picture. It's on my phone. Yeah, it's a better one, but that's just, I'll show it to you. But it's, those kids have a good dad that feeds them and loves them. I was very impressed when I asked you how their day was, about how involved you are, okay? You should see me on the weekend. A lot of dads don't get second pairs of clothes and cook eggs and give them snacks at night, you know? A lot of men say that's women's work, right? I like to get involved. But you're not that kind of guy, okay? So Chris, can you just look at me for 1 second? If there is something that happened, it's okay. It really is. Yeah. If something happened with these girls, if there was an accident, if there was something you're afraid of telling me, it's okay. Yeah. If there's something that happened with your wife, it's okay. Okay. You can always tell me. And if you want to talk 15 minutes after you leave, I'll answer the phone. And if you want to talk in the middle of the morning, I'll answer the phone, okay? What I want to happen is, if that's what happened, if there is something that got out of hand, if there's something you know, I want you to go home. And I want you to know that I'm the guy you can talk to, okay? Who's not going to judge you. I have kids. You know, sometimes I joke with my wife. I say, I just need 2 weeks alone, you know? Like when you told me about your 5 weeks alone, I was like, well, that sounds like a little slice of heaven right there, right? Sometimes it's a bit much. Okay, so let's do this. I mean, we're going to take a little break. I'm going to help organize the search of your house tonight, okay? Okay, I still want to do that. Okay, I'm just going to go to my friend's house. Okay, and get out of your way. Okay, now, hopefully they're now still awake. I can't tell you that we have to do it, okay? If like you said, I mean, it rained tonight. Yeah. Like hard, and it blew 4 trash cans in my yard. Like get on it, right? Right. Like, whatever's there is there, and I want it found. I want to do that. I want to talk to you again tomorrow, okay? Okay, I want you to get a good night's sleep and a good breakfast and a good workout, whatever you got to do, whatever your morning routine is. My dad flies in the morning, around 8 or 9. Okay, so what time shall we plan on doing that? Can I get him back home first and then come here? Of course. Okay. Have a good time. Get settled in. So what time does he fly in? He should be here around 8, 9 o'clock? Yeah. Okay. He's flying from North Carolina. Here's what I would love to have happen. He's flying in at 8, 9 o'clock. You got to go get him. You got to get him back. He's going to want to know everything. Yeah. Ronnie's going to want to know everything for sure. And he's your dad. I'll, okay. He's called me like 10 times today. It's going to take forever, and he's going to have questions and comments and concerns, okay? And I would love for you and me as a team to talk tomorrow, to do the polygraph tomorrow, and move past it all, okay? Move past me wondering about which Chris I'm talking to. I want to move past that. I want to get it behind us, okay? And then our talks are going to be a lot more comfortable than they were tonight. So then we can get that, say, at 11 o'clock tomorrow? Okay. We can do a polygraph. Here? Here. Right. Okay. There might be little tweaks. It might be a different office to this one. We're not going to rock your world too much. We know what you're going through. They're not going to rock his world too much. They're going to change his world. Okay? He's got some big changes coming to his world. I want to get that done. I want to just move past it. Okay. Could we do it then? Yeah. 11 o'clock? Yeah. Okay. Do you have any more questions for me? No, like I have your phone number. Yeah. So that, like, if his flight gets delayed, I can call you? Yeah, absolutely. You got Dave's number, right? Yeah. So you're like based out of here? I am. Okay. Yeah, okay. You know that's like a 24-hour number, okay? Okay. Let's make that happen tomorrow. Yeah, one of the things that makes me wonder about which Chris again it is when you don't answer the phone, okay? So if I call you, I get it if you're on the phone, you know, or you're with your dad, or you're in the drive-through, you know, whatever. I get it. But if you go the whole day without calling me back, oh no, that's not going to happen. Okay, can we promise each other we'll answer the phone? Yeah, like I'm going a day like if I was, like I'm not going a day like, okay, yeah, I'm not going to go a day like if I was with my dad, or like I have other calls coming in, like your mistress, Chris, like your mistress calling, or you calling her, or you FaceTiming her. Okay, I'll get back to you. Okay, your dad's coming tomorrow. Were you guys planning on staying here? Oh yeah, he's going to be staying at my house. Okay. That was the thing. Like, I don't want to be at the house by myself. You're not ever going to be there again, Chris, so you don't really have to worry about it. You're going to the big house where you'll never be by yourself again. That's why I'm staying with my friends tonight. Okay. Because I can't be, all right, in the house again. Like, have you already packed for your friend's house tonight? I got it in my car. Okay. I was actually almost there when, okay, you called me and I was like, yeah, I'll turn around. Yeah, I'm sorry. No, you're good. I'd rather, okay. All right. I hope you know that I'm someone you can call and trust. And again, I put the screws to you because that's what I need to do. I know. Okay, you did a really good job tonight. Right. Okay. Did you have any other questions for me? No, just, okay. You'll find these two in my wife. I'll show you the other picture on my phone. Okay, let me go see you've got my phone. Yeah, let me go see where they are with your phone. Okay. If you're going to go to your friend's house, then we might not include you very much at your house. Yeah, that's, okay. I'm going to go try and leave you alone for the night, but if we get somewhere, if we get in the house, if we find something and we got to talk to you about it tonight, I'll have my phone. We might call you again. Okay, all right. Anything else now? Just try to find them. Well, okay, I know. I appreciate you coming in tonight. All right, give me a few minutes. I'm done with Gatorade though. Okay, Chris, he really cares that you're done with your Gatorade. How are you feeling? Okay. Thanks for letting us use your phone. No problem. So we're trying to figure this out, okay, without sending you home with a bunch of questions, right? Gotcha. We'd like to be able to tell you this is our plan for tomorrow, and so far it looks like some of the same things we're doing at your house are better at night and some are better in the morning. Right. So we're going to probably split the difference and start very early in the morning, probably in about 4 hours, right? Right. Is it possible for you not to go home during that time to your house? Okay. Can you go straight to your friend's house? I'm not sure if my friends are right here. Okay. And then when you do go straight to your friend's house, is it okay to ask that you don't go back to your house? You just call me and give me a word. Okay, so what I like to be able to do, I don't want to do Sooo searches to your house because you know what that'll say to the public. They'll say, oh boy, the FBI is really interested in him. And there's going to be a storm coming your way that we don't want, okay? So we'll do that. We're going to send you home to your friend's house. You get a good night's sleep. Pick up your dad 8 or 9 o'clock. Yeah, I'll have to verify that he leaves at 5 o'clock. In the morning? Eastern time. He already has his ticket? Yeah. Do you know what one he's flying in on? Like when he's flying in or the company or... I told him to go to United Airlines. It was cheaper, but okay. I'm not sure if he could get... The price keeps changing on him. He bought his ticket? Yeah. Okay, what's his name? Ronnie. Ronnie Watts. Ronnie Watts. Okay. All right, so we'll send you to your friend's house. You know, again, I can't tell you that you can't go to your house, but I'd like you not to go to your house. And if you can do that for me, we'll start early in the morning, and I'll check in with you at around 8 or 9 o'clock, okay? Okay. You'll probably be on your way to the airport, if not already there. Then can you, after that, just come straight over here? Yeah. Let's just talk. Let's get everything out of the way, okay? Let's get done with your search, and then we're gonna, send you on your way. We'll get back to this Chris, the good Chris, right? I'm sorry you have to go through all this. It's part of the process. Okay? You guys are staying in my house overnight? I'm not sure. Okay. I'm not sure, but actually, yes. There will be someone in your house. Yes, there will be someone at your house. Okay. There's going to be a patrol officer at the front and the back. Just tell him, don't you dare think of going there and destroying anything. And then, yeah, they're going to make sure, well, and the reason is we don't want anyone else going into your house either, okay? Yeah. Some, nosy reporters, nosy neighbors, the reporters that will be there because they were just cycling and doing some, spots here and there. Okay, right, yeah. So we'll also want to make sure that they're not sticking a camera in your window and, doing some sort of world peace about your house and your home and your yard and they'll be there. We'll make sure they're not going to do anything like that, okay? And I mean, there's always someone in the front and the back now, okay? And if you need to go to your house, don't do so without telling us. Oh no, you're right, I know. Okay, so you won't get pigpiled by a bunch of patrol officers. Does that all sound? Yeah. Okay. Is that all okay? Okay. Give me a few minutes, I'll walk you out. Okay. And that's the end of that. We know the next day he comes back with the polygraph and all of that. We haven't gone through with Tammy. We've gone through after the polygraph, so we have that big portion before the polygraph and the polygraph. There's also interviews with people at the school about calls that were coming in I want to cover, and Shanann's friends, and lots of other things that are in that discovery. And I think if we take it apart piece by piece, we may see things and whatever. But yeah, I think that, if it's something that you guys don't think is worthwhile, let me know. But I think so far people are receptive and do want me to go through the discovery so we can talk about this, and you can hear in the video and then in the transcripts. And some people, for whatever reason can't get, whether they're just on a phone and it's hard for them to see the documents on file. But yeah, there's things, I've watched those videos a lot of time, and then when I read it, it's different to me, because it's just, I pick out different things than when I just watch the video or if I just read a transcript. So that's what I have there. And let me see if there's anything else. I know a few of you have asked me about Jamie Kloss, and I have to tell you that, Jamie Kloss is not a case I've followed very, very closely. Like, I remember when it happened, and when it happened, I will tell you that I've seen so many cases like that, like on 48 Hours and stuff, where they have a parent is killed, and then it happens to be the daughter or the son's girlfriend or boyfriend, and they're in on it. And I've seen a lot of cases like that. And that, coupled with I'm from New York, I'm a natural skeptic. So I have to say that when I heard about the case, and I didn't go delving into the case, I had just heard about it on the news when it happened, and when they said she was gone, I thought, okay, well, maybe she ran away with a boyfriend and he did it, but she's with a boyfriend. And I really didn't think much of it after. I didn't think much of it this whole time. And then neither did my husband. And then they found her, and then we watched 48 Hours on, on Saturday? Saturday about it. And I can tell you, I don't know what it is, but something doesn't sit right with me. Something is like really not sitting right with me. And like I said, I didn't follow this case a lot. I wasn't in any groups. I wasn't discussing anything. Just something about it doesn't sit right. And I can't say who's not sitting right. It just, the case is not sitting right. And I know there was some new information that he saw her get off a school bus, and that's how he made his target there. But something about that case is not sitting right with me. Not at all. I can't explain it to you. I just have a weird or funny type feeling about it. It just doesn't fill me with what would normally fill me if, I don't know, if this was just like this big rescue and stuff. There's something that's there. I just sense it. Okay? I just sense it. Maybe some of you too as well. I don't know. I have to wait and see as we get more information. But right now, I can't, I can't say that I'm feeling any differently. It's just, and it's weird. I will tell you that my husband is usually like, when I saw Chris Watts on the news, I'm like, oh, he did it. He's guilty. And my husband's like, really? Yeah. Okay. And then I saw Patrick. I'm like, oh, watch, he did it. Okay. And so I do that with like a lot of cases. And then I'm usually right. But my husband's usually like, he waits for like more evidence, or he's just not as on the ball with that part of it. But I looked over at him and I said, does something not feel right here for you? And I expected him to say, oh no. He goes, yeah, something doesn't feel right for me. So that was, I thought, okay, if it doesn't feel right for him, then I don't think, I think what I'm feeling might be a little bit valid. So I don't know. I'm not, like I said, I'm not following it. I'm not going to say a lot of things because I haven't been following it. I can tell you just that from hearing when it happened, and then just seeing what I saw in 48 Hours and a little bit I've read since then, just something is not sitting right with me. I don't know. I could be totally off the mark. We'll see what happens, but I'm not going to make any calls right now because I'm not that, I don't have that much information on the case, and I just have this weird feeling. So you can let me know about that. And what was I going to say? Kelsey Beareth, I don't think we've had any new development. It's not that I've seen, but I am so behind on my emails. I have to go down and do that, and I'm behind on everything. So I might have missed something. Very, very possible. I will update if there is new information on that. But right now, I'm going to continue to go over the Chris Watts case, and we'll see what happens. But I know that you're discussing with me here in the comments, And that's always good to brainstorm different ideas and stuff that's going on. I know somebody put a name that they thought was the name of the Mistress now. Somebody put that in the comments of a live chat. I know they did, but I never went back to see it. If that person's here, put it down. But anyway, I will talk to you guys later, and I hope that you have a very good day. I'm just going to say day because day, I don't know where we, coming to you, no matter what I say is going to be wrong for someone. So we'll just say day. And a great week, a great month, a great life. I will talk to you guys soon. If you like this video, how about giving us a thumbs up, subscribing to our channel, subscribing to our notifications so you don't miss anything. I love that support that you are giving me, and that you're really enjoying the videos, because that's why I'm making them, because you guys are being so receptive and discussing with me, and I feel like it's a whole community of people that I can talk about cases with where I didn't have that many in my real life that really want to talk about cases. So it's been great. I will talk to you all very soon. Everybody have a good one. Bye-bye.